I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano, along with my brother Joe Pisano.
One of my favorite shirts that you own.
Yeah.
Spider-Man with like Venom trying to take him over.
Yeah, it's like baby,
super cute, but baby,
like baby Spider-Man and baby
Spider-Man.
Venom,
Yeah.
whatever.
I like the fact that I've got such a long wrestling shirt collection that
Yeah.
I 90% wear just for our wrestling podcast.
Right.
And now I'm getting to grow my hogwash shirt collection.
Yeah.
Getting some new ones recently that'll debut soon.
Uh-huh.
Christmas time, like, hey, go to a $5 to $10, t-shirt store in the
Right.
mall.
Yeah.
Easy gift for Joe. And
Lot
just
of-
anything Marvel, anything
Yeah.
superhero, anything like, really anything Hollywood that I
Right.
like.
A lot of people shop at Target.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a friend from out of town today, and he was wearing the the Grogu I'm all ears shirt that
Yeah.
we both have. Like, you and I both have it, and I was like, oh.
I was looking for a new shirt tonight, and I think that one was stolen. See, I've got people in my life that steal
Yeah.
my clothes.
Right.
So I think that
Children.
one's gone. Children in my life that steal my clothes. Damn it. I know.
Yeah, I'm glad that, my son's definitely not tall enough yet to be stealing my clothes, so
Yeah.
I guess I have some years left.
Nice.
But yeah.
It's mostly my daughters. Really?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That take my clothes.
Sure.
I saw, Matthew's getting bigger every day.
Yeah.
But we'll see if he starts to snake stuff. I caught him with something on the other day, and I was like looking at him like, is that mine? So yeah.
I would think
gotta
he'd be like,
careful.
no, I'm not wearing my dad's clothes. I feel like he'd be different.
He's too
with
cool
that.
for school.
Yeah, right.
it was like a jacket that it was
Yeah,
cold
yeah.
out one day last week, so he ran into he probably has nothing that fits him because he grew like a foot since
Yeah.
the last cold.
That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
I think he just grabbed a jacket of mine, and I was like,
Right.
all right, hot shot. But hey, Christmas presents this year. Might do some What's Wrong with Wrestling hoodies, since all the girls are always stealing hoodies from me.
Right.
And all the kids. So yeah, might be a nice fun present
Yeah, sure.
over at the old What's Wrong with the Wrestling shop.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are here today. Hey, it's 2 podcasts in a row. 2 weeks in a row, we did a Hollywood Hogwash podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's been a while
Oh,
since we've
gotcha.
done that.
Yeah.
That's all. So
Well, it's exciting that a good movie came out that we were, maybe cautiously optimistic, maybe pessimistic, cautiously pessimistic.
I was definitely pessimistic because
Yeah.
again, we talk about it's almost every time we do a movie, right? Any sequel that comes out
tough.
20 or 30 years later, this is 24 years later.
Oof.
90% of the time they suck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I actually watched the first Gladiator right before I saw Gladiator 2.
Nice.
And, I was like, all right, it's not going to be as good. And it certainly wasn't. But I
Yeah.
think they did a good job with the sequel. If I were to compare it to something, it would be Top Gun Maverick. Because Top Gun Maverick is essentially just a remake of Top Gun.
Right.
Like, it's a sequel. It furthers the plot a little bit, but it's basically just the same movie. And that's what Gladiator 2 was.
I agree, only I think Top Gun 2 was better than the original Top Gun.
Right.
Whereas this wasn't as good as the original Gladiator,
Yeah.
but it had the same feel.
Yeah. Well, Top Gun is a different story because the original was made in the 80s and it's 40 years later, and you could make a fighter jet plane movie a lot better in 2024.
Yeah.
Whereas Gladiator was 2000. Now we're in 2024. It pretty much looks the same when you watch both movies back,
Yeah.
with the tigers and all that. And
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah.
so, but overall, yeah, I think it was, they did a good job.
Yeah.
It certainly didn't suck. They basically just copied everything from the first one.
Almost exactly. They revealed some stuff that we weren't sure about in the
Right.
first movie. And then,
Yeah.
again, before we announce spoilers,
Right.
there are some things that I think when we were talking yesterday morning
Yeah.
made sense. Like okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was pretty obvious early on.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. So we're getting into Gladiator 2, but first we have to thank Jerry Yang for doing a year sub.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Go to patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash, where we're currently reviewing the Penguin series. The fans demanded it. I was cautiously pessimistic for that as well.
Yeah.
But we give our fans what they want.
We do.
So we're doing the Penguin. 2 episodes in. We have the first episode out now. The first review out now. We did the first 2 episodes. So far, I think it's all right. There's some things I like about the show.
Yeah.
But I'm told it gets a lot better. So
Right.
I'm excited for that.
Now, I didn't make the first show, but did you guys talk about how the Riddler was mentioned?
Oh yeah, of course.
And but is this the plot line of after the first Batman movie?
Yes, it's like a week after.
It's a week after.
It's a week.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
So Batman
They said at
exists.
the beginning, like it's only been like a week.
So Batman exists in this world
Oh yeah,
of
yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. And but isn't the Riddler in jail, or did I forget Batman?
He's in jail,
Right.
yeah, but he has disciples.
Oh, okay.
At the end of Batman, remember he had like a bunch of disciples that Batman had to fight?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he was already in jail at that point? Or you
Yes.
just meant like
No,
sometimes
he
when
was
you
in
cut the
jail.
head off, everyone kind of disperses.
Yeah, well, that's not the case.
But he's
with
like, take it
this.
up with the Riddler, like as if the Riddler's still out there,
Yeah,
but he's not.
he just has people.
I guess he has people. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
I mean, that's how that works. At least, like even when the Joker's in jail, he's got people working for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, just like the mob, right?
Sure.
Like we have Salvatore Moroni who's in jail in the Penguin, but he's obviously got his gang still out there.
Yeah.
Doing the stuff. So yeah, go to patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. We also have brackets, and I'm currently working on a new bracket, which is funniest like news blooper of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it
Here's some
should be a lot
famous
of fun.
ones.
Yeah, like the grape stomping lady, like that's a top seed for sure. So to any listeners out there, if you want to send me those clips, send me
Yeah.
the YouTube links, go ahead, because I'm putting together a top 32.
Yeah.
And then that might be Hollywood Hogwash's like version of worst promo bracket.
Right.
Because there's so many, you cry laughing. It's so funny.
Yeah, there's the first one that comes to mind with the lady's like, and he climbed Mount Everest, but he's gay. Gay. I'm sorry, blind. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
what does gay have to do with climbing?
Right.
Oh, he can't see. Now that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Now I got to add that to the list.
You forgot about that one?
Well, no, I didn't. I've only put together a few so far.
yeah.
But like, there's so many,
But he's gay.
Yeah, I'll remember just from that.
There's a lot of good awkward double entendre where the girl says something and like you're on the news, you're supposed to ignore it, and then the guy
Yeah.
goes, you know what I mean? And it becomes a whole thing.
Or they just straight up say, "Keep fucking that chicken,"
Yeah.
and they just go with that.
Did you do ISO Pale?
Yes, I have
that's
that one.
awesome.
Yeah.
I so pale. It takes
Yeah.
you like a beat. She's like, we're on.
Yeah.
And she looks at her and she goes, and then she gets even more pale when
Right.
she looks at the camera.
No, what Aaron and I do like a lot when we hang out, I'll just go to YouTube, we'll get drunk, and we'll watch news bloopers.
So good.
For like hours,
Yeah.
and we'll just cry.
They're so good.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be Hollywood Hogwash's version of worst promo bracket. Like
Yeah.
that'll be our thing for Hogwash. So yeah, go to patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. And speaking of which, let's get to the news and rumors, aka the Hogwash. So Kevin Feige recently spoke at the Disney APAC Content Showcase.
Hold on. How many of these are there?
I don't know.
There's I feel like every week it's like at the D12, Comic-Con New York, Comic-Con Japan.
They tore. This was in Singapore.
Jeez.
They tore.
Yeah.
And he talked about bringing the X-Men into the MCU.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you will see that continues in our next few movies
Yeah.
with some X-Men players that you might recognize. Right after that, the whole story of Secret Wars really leads us into a new age of mutants and of the X-Men. Again, it's one of those dreams come true. We finally have the X-Men back. Now, you saw the Marvels. I didn't see the Marvels, but I know about the post-credit scene where Beast is in it. And it's Kelsey Grammer.
Correct.
So like all these rumors about them rebooting the X-Men, they're not doing that. We have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Obviously, they're not rebooting him. You have Beast. You have Kelsey Grammer's Beast. We've already had Patrick Stewart in there as Professor X, like multiple times.
But
in
it's the
these MCU.
multiverse, so you could do whatever you fucking want.
But will
you could
anyone-
do one here, one there, and you can do that.
Yeah, but will anyone want that? Like, no one wants a different Wolverine at this point.
Why?
He's been Wolverine for 24 years.
You can't.
And now that you made Deadpool and Wolverine, everyone fucking loved it. You just want to see them, going forward.
Yeah, and they picked the wrong Beast. Because
What?
Nicholas,
Oh,
what's
yeah,
his name?
sure.
Like he's just so good as Beast.
Yeah, you'd have to somehow get him from the past, right? Which I guess is not that difficult, but yeah.
Wasn't Kelsey Grammer from the past, or what do you mean?
No, like
Because he's
Kelsey,
older into
yeah.
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
He ages into somehow Nicholas Hoult goes from that to Frasier.
In
10
years. Just
Right.
like Professor X, like, those 10 years must have been hard.
I know, because Dark Phoenix takes place in like 92.
Right.
And then the first X-Men movie takes place in 2000.
He's like, I don't want your future because I've seen you.
Yes. 8 years later. So, yeah, that was pretty nuts. They should have never made Dark Phoenix. But,
Correct.
yeah, also there's a rumor that Captain America Brave New World is currently undergoing more reshoots, even though the film drops in February.
Yikes.
So, I mean, Feige mentioned, more X-Men characters in the next few movies. This is the next one.
Like,
So-
bring us one or post-credit one.
Yeah, maybe another mid-credit scene or something, shit like that.
Yeah. You got to do something. Red Hulk is enough to go see this film for me.
For me. Yeah, for me as well.
But you need to further the plot, right? Like right now we're kind of in this. There's nothing. You know what I mean? Like every Marvel movie was building towards something.
Yeah.
We have to start doing that now. Now that
Right.
Kang is dead, we need to build up whoever's going to be the next big villain. I think. in this.
as much as we all want and we all hope and almost expect that Banner's going to be in this as
Gotta
Green
be.
Hulk.
Gotta be.
But then if he just beats him, then what does Captain America do?
Oh,
Just
no, I don't-
jack off? Like, hey, good job, Green. You got this. Hey, is this a Hulk movie? Why don't we just make it a Hulk movie, right? Yeah, you got this, Pat. Like, who does he fight?
I don't think he fights Red Hulk.
So he fights Giancarlo Esposito?
No. I don't think it's a team up. I think like he's just in it, and I don't know why or how. And I don't think Red Hulk is bad.
Both Hulks are in it, but they don't fight? Oh, he's bad.
That's the tease.
He's bad.
You think he's bad?
Oh, he's bad. Red Hulk is bad. Thunderbolt's bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I
You
guess.
can't not make him bad.
That's true. That's
I mean,
true.
he's in the trailers, he's the main villain. It's Harrison Ford.
But Captain America, you
Yeah.
know, what's his face? Like he didn't take the injection, right? Or he did.
Well, no, as of
As of
now,
right now,
no.
he's a dude.
But a rumor,
You're not beating the Hulk.
a rumor is that he does in this movie.
Well, he better
Yeah.
if he wants to fight a Hulk.
There's a scene in the trailer where he lands, because he still flies, and he lands really hard and fast. They're like, if he didn't have the fucking injection, I don't know how he lands that hard, other
true.
than it's just a fucking superhero movie.
Because even the other the fake Captain America in that show had at least one injection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He took it.
John Henry, or
Whatever.
what's his
He-
name?
yeah.
Who's in the other movie,
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yeah.
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 He took it for sure. Super soldier serum.
Right. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't think there's a resolution to that fight. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no, I don't think so either. But yeah, it's going to be tough if you put Green Hulk in there and that's going to overshadow Captain America. We'll see. I just don't want to have our expectations too high. Because I think Red Hulk. I certainly think, right, like you said, I think Red Hulk and Harrison Ford are going to be in more movies going forward.
It's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So there's a new syndicate, and the president is a part of it. I guess
sure.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Well, the trailer makes it seem like there's a hit on his life, right? There's an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
So it's either he just takes this Hulk serum to protect himself, but of course it makes him crazy, and he's already a bad guy
Makes
anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah. So we'll see. February. Also, Elizabeth Olsen is returning to voice Scarlet Witch in the animated series Marvel Zombies, which comes out next year.
This looks ridiculous.
Well, sure.
I mean, come on.
But there were comics of this.
All right.
I had when I was thinner, I had a zombie Spider-Man shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a large, so it's going to take a while for me to. That's my plan is to eventually fit into my zombie Spider-Man t-shirt, which is a large. And I also have a Venom t-shirt that is still in they're both still in really good condition.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, I want to fit into those one day. That might be another year from now, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll check it out. I still haven't watched season 2 of What If?
Right.
Still haven't checked that
And
out.
3's coming out like next month, right?
Is it that soon?
I think so. I saw like a bunch of like stuff about it on Disney. What?
I mean, that would
if?
make sense because last year it came out on Christmas.
It was just a lot. There's just been a lot of in December 22nd, 8 episodes.
Because season 2, like, I was gonna watch it, and then I looked at all the premises, and I was like, not.
I'm not interested in any of
Yeah,
these.
no, they didn't. They all seem kind of lame.
Yeah. The first season was so good though. It's like we should almost give it a shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's also a rumor that season 2 of Moon Knight has been canceled.
What?
Yeah,
I thought he was part of like the whole scheme.
I don't know. I mean, he had nothing to do with the rest of the MCU. Did you watch it? Mm-hmm. It was all right.
Me and Matthew liked it.
Yeah, like I could take it or leave it.
Right.
If they cancel it, I'll be fine.
Matthew liked it more than I did.
Yeah.
But I think he always kind of had like a thing. Like I didn't know who that was. Mm-hmm. I was at a comic palooza once, and like Aunt Matthew was like, "Hey, get me Moon Knight," and I'm like,
Yeah.
Which one of these is that?" He goes,
Right.
"Oh, it's that white one." I'm like, "Cool, you know Moon Knight?" He's like, "I do."
I always thought he looked cool as a kid, but I didn't know much about his story. He's just kind of around
Yeah.
in comics and stuff. Also, season 2 of Peacemaker has finished filming. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they do because
They have to redo it.
they're doing well, no, they are doing a new intro. James Gunn already confirmed that. I just hope it's the same song.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But we'll see. It's coming out August of next year. In an interview with IGN, James Gunn was asked about what is and is not canon
Oh
in
God,
the DCU. That's Joe's most hated word.
it's just so dumb because you don't tell us what's canon. You show us.
Well, that's what he's going to do, right?
Okay,
But I
so
mean,
go ahead.
people still want info, and that's
Yeah.
what he does, right?
Well, this is all DC is also blending the two worlds of what's canon, right? Well, Peacemaker had all the heroes from the other world.
But he made
fly down.
Peacemaker. So here, let me just read
Okay,
what he
go.
said.
Yeah, of course.
He says, real simply, nothing for sure is canon unless you see it in Creature Commandos going forward for the DCU. That's a cartoon that's coming out soon. Okay. He says, now in Creature Commandos, you will hear them talk about things that happen in Suicide Squad or Peacemaker, which those are the ones he made. Well, then those things automatically become canon. The truth is, almost all of Peacemaker is canon, except Justice League, which we will kind of deal with in the next season of Peacemaker. So I imagine it'll be like a joke, right? Like a throwaway joke. Because if you haven't seen the end, like the very end of Peacemaker, the last episode, there is cameos from the original Justice League members, and it's amazing. Like, it's so great.
Yeah.
But obviously they have to explain why and how that happened. I'm sure it'll be some sort of multiverse joke, right? I mean,
yeah.
But
That's it. Like
this
one line.
is James Gunn wants to start over, but he was also around for the original one because he made Suicide Squad and Peacemaker and all that. So that's just where we're at. You know, we're getting our own Batman from him. It's going to be separate from the Robert Pattinson.
Another Batman.
But at least there'll be a good one because the Robert Pattinson one sucks, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's not the Robert Pattinson ones, Matt Reeves move, like that's not going to have anything to do with the canon DCU, you know?
Yeah, good. I mean, I'm glad they're not using, the Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Robin's going to be back. It's going to be Batman and Robin. And it's going to be when Robin's his son. Because Batman has the son with Talia al Ghul.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm
So
excited.
like, just take it from like, he fucked her and he impregnated her.
Yeah.
But she didn't die. Is she evil?
Yes.
Ooh. So Robin lives with him? I mean, he's a billionaire. I would too.
I don't know if she's going to be in. She does die in certain versions. Like, she does die, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. They haven't said yet, obviously, if she's going to be in it. I would imagine maybe flashbacks. Who knows? Right? We don't know who the villain is. We just know it's Batman and Robin, his son Robin.
Oh, he totally had sex.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, definitely excited for Peacemaker. Also, talking about Matt Reeves Batman and Robert Pattinson. There's a rumor that due to the success of the Penguin series, they're going to do a Joker one next.
So that's part of the Batman, obviously canon.
Yes, the Joker who
saw
was in the Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where
Looked
he just
really creepy.
looks like a meth addict.
Oh my God. His face is all warped.
Yeah.
Warped.
So I imagine they'll do that, I guess. It seems like they're doing like a long con with Joker as the main villain. Like he's going to be in 2, and then maybe he'll be the villain for 3. You know?
Yeah.
See, I feel like I'm afraid Batman 2 is going to hook me in again because the trailer's going to look cool. And then I'm going to be like, all right, well, it's a Batman movie, and then I'm going to be like, fuck. Because apparently it's going to be winter, so it's going to be snow. Like, it's going to look cool,
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. Also, a new trailer for Sonic 3 dropped. The movie comes out next month. My son's excited. I'm a little excited. I mean, I liked Sonic 2, and
I still hadn't seen it.
this one's going to be a team up with Sonic and Dr. Robotnik with Jim Carrey, so that should be fun. I'm sure at some point he'll turn on him because, he is who he is.
That's what he do.
But this was cool. Paramount made a custom Sega Genesis game cartridge to promote the film. It's not for sale, but they sent it out to like IGN and some other popular content creators. Oh. Like if you have a Sega Genesis, you could actually plug that in. You could put that in your Sega, and then it promotes the film, and there's like a mini game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
like
cool.
Basically like a cell phone game.
Why not sell that?
Yeah, they should. Because
I guess because how many people have a Sega
fucking
Genesis?
assholes like me would. I mean, certain people would just buy a Genesis just to get this.
Right.
Because you could still buy Sega Genesis on eBay, and I have an N64. There's a cool video game store in Houston. There's a few Game Over video games.
Yep.
And that's where I've gotten my N64 and some N64 games. So
absolutely.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Also, in an interview with Esquire, Denzel Washington announced that he will star in 2 more Equalizer films. So much for retirement. Because he said he was retiring soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad talked those up like they were amazing. Like, they're okay. They're good.
I saw the first one.
Yeah.
And I saw it with Dad.
Yes.
And he was like, "This is amazing." And then I was like, "He was all right."
Right.
I never saw the second one, but all these, it's just like John Wick, but John Wick, the action is 10 times better. Of
course.
Obviously Denzel's Denzel. Don't get me wrong. He's great. But in terms of action, John Wick just outperforms
Blows it away.
this movie.
Blows it.
Yeah. Speaking of retirement, though, Pamela Hayden, who voiced Milhouse on The Simpsons for 35 years, has announced she's leaving the show. She said, "I'll always have a special place in my heart for that blue-haired 10-year-old boy with glasses." So at least someone, on that show knows enough is enough.
Well, why even leave? What does he show up and work for 3 hours and gets paid $100,000?
Right.
Why leave?
She said she just wants to focus on other things.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, they're going to recast Milhouse and other characters that she does, but...
Yeah, I mean, it'd be easy. People can mimic voices pretty easily, right?
Right. I mean, if Hank Azaria ever retires, then I'm obviously auditioning. Because those are the Simpsons voices I could do.
Right.
like Mo Sislak,
See his kettle.
Yeah. Chief Wiggum. He does a bunch of those. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched any new Simpsons episodes in 20 years. They're just not up to par.
Right.
So that's all I got. So
yeah.
What do you got?
Just that I met him once, so I thought I'd talk about it. Yesterday, Chuck Woolery passed away. He was kind of a very famous game show host.
Okay.
He did Love Connection, and then he started doing the dating game. They brought back the dating game in the 90s, and as you know,
right.
I was on it, and he was the host
right.
when I was on it.
Yeah.
You recognize him.
Yes, of course.
He did Love Connection was really fun because, they wouldn't, it wasn't as fake as you watch stuff now. If it didn't work out, they would air that.
Yeah.
Of how horrible the date went or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do we have a love connection? It was always no. And they would show some fun stuff. They brought him back for the dating game. So I met him. Super nice guy.
Nice.
And if you find an episode of probably in 95, 96, when I was on the new dating game, it is not good. I was the guy picking.
Right.
But it was, and it's all fake. That was all fake, that part.
Yeah.
Because that was he's like, "Who do you want to pick?" And I'm like, 2? And the guy's like, 3's the hot one. I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you took the $100.
I took the $300 instead of going on the date, I think.
Yeah. But what could
at
she
the time-
should she choose to go on the vacation alone then, or
I don't think so. I
so
think
you both have to agree to go on that
I'm
vacation?
almost certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know. Look, I was super broke as an out of work actor, and then like the hot one. No offense, not that I'm Brad Pitt or anything, but I just was like, I don't want to go on a vacation with her. I'm good.
Well, it's with a strain. Like that's the other weird thing. Like with
Yeah.
someone you just met.
But the funny part is,
You have no idea if you're going to get along.
of course,
You know, you have no idea if you have any common interests.
you guys matched. I think it would be more likely for something like that to happen now in this culture, like Gen Zers,
Yeah,
than
sure.
back when you know what I mean? Like you
Oh,
still
yeah.
had to like date a girl and take her out and
Right.
all the old school stuff. Now it's like, hey, what's up? What's up?
True.
Want to fuck? All right, I guess.
Right. With internet dating, yeah.
It's
for
just
sure.
crazy. So I think that would make more sense to do it now and then do an after show.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we could talk Gladiator 2.
Oh, my God.
This opened internationally a week earlier.
Oh,
And after
interesting.
2 weeks, internationally, it made $165.5 million. Domestically, though, opening weekend, it made just $55.5 million for a global total of $221 million. So clearly the rest of the world was into Gladiator 2 more than North America.
Yeah, I mean, like, since when is $55 million opening bad? I mean, I guess.
When your budget is over $250 million.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, no one goes to the movies anymore. I'm sure, like, now half the revenue is probably, all right, 40% of the revenue is probably like streaming, right? Selling it to a streaming service of some kind or something.
Sure.
Like, how much was Netflix pay for a movie like this?
I don't know.
50, 100?
Yeah, but they don't ever get it permanently.
I know.
You know, they'll have it for a little bit and then lose it. Yeah.
So it's probably not 100 million then if they're just
Right.
borrowing it, right? They're
Yeah.
renting it,
Sure.
baby.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely low for the United States. Wicked won the weekend domestically with 114 million.
That's insane.
Yeah. But when I went Friday, our movie theater was packed, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess it'll do better. But no, really, that's technically a disappointment. But
Yeah.
Ridley Scott is kind of just making bomb after bomb. Again, it's not a bomb because overseas, it looks like it might just break even in the box office, I guess, because it's at 221. It's not going to make that much, it's all about opening weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get to 300 million. We'll see.
Right.
But
Right.
as far as the movie is concerned, the first thing that we see is like a text scroll. And it said, these twin emperors have taken over due to ruthless aggression.
That's right.
That made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because I never see that.
Right.
That phrase,
Yeah.
ruthless aggression,
Right.
anywhere.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Right.
But going back to what we were talking about earlier, I saw this movie, I saw the first one right before the second one. And, everything that happens in this film was very, very predictable. Because as soon as you see the mom, you're like, where's her son? Oh, of course. Of course, it's him.
That's the only biggest plot hole that I have a problem with is in the first movie.
Yeah.
When Russell Crowe is dying.
Yeah.
He goes, now your son is safe. That's why he did all of this in the end.
Right.
And we don't know it's his son. They hint a little bit, but they never
Yeah.
reveal.
No.
This is your, pet him. He's your dad. They
Yeah.
didn't do that at the end.
Right.
They decided to kind of make it a little bit vague.
Yeah.
In this movie, they're just like, no, that's your fucking dad right there.
And that was always the biggest, fan theory,
Of course.
was that it was his son.
But
But you had to do that in this movie to make people care.
Yeah.
Right.
You killed Joaquin Phoenix. So why is he... And you're giving it to the Republic and democracy and the Congress is taking over and all that.
No.
The senators... And then in this movie, oh no, it was even worse than you... Well, why did he die then? It was my only problem. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
my biggest problem.
Well, that's what you have to do with every sequel, right?
I know.
It's
You gotta
just
no,
like
there's still a problem.
Independence Day.
Still a problem.
We beat the aliens. Well, they're back.
They're back.
Terminator 2. We stopped Judgment Day. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
That's just how these
That's true.
sequels work. Avatar. Oh, we defeated the humans. They're back.
Right.
Otherwise, how do you make this?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's very similar. The main character has a wife. She gets murdered. She dies in battle, and he wants vengeance.
Yep.
We have not one emperor, but two twin emperors who are super douche.
They are the biggest douches.
Like it's now we have 2 Joaquin douche emperors.
They're so good at making these guys so fucking hateable.
yeah.
So fucking hateable, which is great. That one actor, the taller one, what's his name? Joseph Quinn. He's in a lot of stuff right now. He was in Stranger Things with the long black hair. Are you on to Dave
course.
Stranger Things?
Yeah.
And then he's in the Fantastic Four,
Right.
The next one.
Yeah.
So he's starting to get cast
He's
everywhere.
going to be Johnny Storm.
Right.
He's Johnny
So
Storm.
they're starting to cast him everywhere. The younger brother was just so wonderfully weird, is the best way to put it. He was
Yeah.
amazing as a weird super douche.
They were funny comic relief, but so it was like when you're watching it, you're like, okay, well, they're not the main villains. Denzel's in this,
Right.
But for half of the movie, Denzel's just kind of like this gay, flirty guy.
Yeah.
And then, the scene where he meets with that other white guy who's basically his bitch, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is where they cut the gay kiss.
Well, it's
You
just
know,
the one where
where
he
he,
kisses
like-
both hands and both cheeks.
You're
He probably just
that's
kissed him
where
on the
he
mouth.
that's
Yeah.
where they canceled the gay
Right.
kiss scene or deleted it or whatever.
Yeah.
But even in the movie, he said Denzel has a line where he says something like he's like, "Well, I don't always go with women." It was something like that, like a
Yeah, throwaway, yeah.
But that was like my main. Like I wish Denzel would have actually gotten the power at some point.
Yeah.
Like maybe with an hour left, he's the emperor.
Right.
It's all a fantasy movie. It's not based on a true story. It's based
No.
on a true event, like
These twins
the Colosseum.
were the emperors at one time.
right.
I did look that up.
But none of this happened.
It's fake.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think a guy with a New York accent is going to be rising up in Emperor Rome. That's one of the funny things where they're like, well, we criticized him. Well, everyone else has an English accent, even the non-English actors.
Yeah.
Denzel's like, ha, 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 all right, okay. All right, this is what you sound like in Rome in 1800.
You're not going to ask Denzel to change.
19, whatever,
That's a
200.
criticism though in a lot of Ridley Scott movies. Like I never saw House of Gucci,
Yeah.
but I heard like they're all supposed to be Italians, like from Italy. They're supposed to be from Italy, and Al Pacino's like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, no.
That's great.
Apparently, they all fucking do it in that movie,
And wait, which one?
House of Gucci.
Oh, House of Gucci. Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously, you're not gonna have Denzel change anything. He's Denzel.
Yeah.
I just wish he would have actually gotten the power at some point.
I get
he
that.
has that good line where he was like, I was once owned by an emperor and now I'm going to be the emperor. And it's like,
Don't mean to jump. Yeah, I don't mean to
might
jump
as
around.
well go all the way with it.
But when the gladiator is, I guess, Lucius,
Yeah.
Denzel's riding past the army.
Yeah.
And Lucius is just riding past the army. There's a gladiator just on a horse. Should we shoot him? Let's let this play out. Let's see what happens, That was a little bit weird,
Here's
too.
the other weird thing. I went on IMDb after I saw this movie, and IMDb is just like, Lucius, they just tell you that Lucius in the movie it's supposed to be a big surprise.
It's the big reveal.
And then on IMDb they're just like, yeah, no, it's about the son.
It's Lucius.
It's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of strange. And then so you find out he's Lucius, which was super obvious. And then, like halfway in the film, then the mother finally says it. You're like, just say it already. And your father Maximus. Oh,
Yeah.
Which it was needed because I honestly we all felt it was pretty obvious that he was going to be the son. But like it wasn't until she said it that it was like, okay, now I care about this guy more.
Yeah.
You know?
The funny thing is, the kid who played, the guy who played the kid back then is alive. He's an actor.
Looks nothing like the kid.
What do you mean?
I'm saying like the guy that played
No, but I'm
Lucius
saying the
looks
kid.
nothing like the little kid.
Right, the kid
Yeah.
from Gladiator, he's alive.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
Right.
I guess if you use him, it's too obvious.
But is he super buff? What if he was just
This
not
guy wasn't that buff. When they showed his chest, it wasn't like the big bubble chest like you'd see in most gladiators. It was a little kind of flat. Honestly,
was
I'm
still-
like, eh.
He was still
Yeah,
big
but,
though.
hey, we're gonna make a gladiator. Do you want to be in it? Yeah. Okay, you got to get fucking buff.
Is this actor still working? Is he any good? You know?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's probably why.
No, this guy was very good.
It was funny because when the movie started, I was like, he's got to be Lucius, but he looks nothing like Lucius.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Yeah.
I guess.
This was Denzel Washington's first supporting role in 22 years.
Wow.
Every other time he's been the main actor. Last one was
Sure.
Antoine Fisher.
But it's just like The Dark Knight, when the
Yeah.
Joker's on the scene. When the Joker's in the movie, you're like, okay, there's the main star.
Right.
You know, just like you want to see Denzel more and more.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ridley Scott also gets a lot of criticism for being very inaccurate with his movies. Like with Napoleon, there was a scene where Napoleon was firing cannons at the pyramids. And that's supposed to be a historically accurate movie. It's literally about Napoleon. They're like, yeah, no, that never happened. There's no evidence that he fired cannons at the pyramids.
Just thinking they were spaceships or something? Or what?
No, right. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And that movie was so fucking boring. And that's another one where Joaquin Phoenix does not do a French accent in the movie. Everyone else in Napoleon is doing a French accent. And I'm like, all right, Joaquin Phoenix, Academy Award-winning actor.
He's amazing.
He won for Gladiator, right? Best Supporting or no? He won for Joker. So he has an Academy Award.
Of course, yeah.
It's like, all right, let's see his accent. He's just like, I'm Napoleon. Let's invade, Russia.
Walking Tall, or what's it called? You know, where he played Johnny Cash. I think he won for that. Best actor.
Oh, yeah. No, not Walking Tall. That's the Rock.
the other one?
That's the Rock's movie.
Oh, Walking Tall. Walk Hard? Oh,
no,
that's
Walk
the Dewey
Hard
Cox
is the
story.
John C. Reilly
It's
one.
Walking something, I thought.
It's one of his songs. It's Walk the Line. Because you're
That's it.
mine,
That's
I'll
it.
walk the line.
I'll walk the line.
Hard. Walk hard, walking tall.
Walking Tall and Hard. Let's see. Best Actor, Russell Crowe. That's it.
won Best
he was
Movie.
a nominee.
Yeah.
Best. I mean, he was amazing. He's fucking amazing.
But again, Academy Award winning, doesn't even
Best
do a French
Picture.
accent. It's
Yeah.
just his voice.
Yeah.
Very odd. But speaking of this movie, the action was really good. They didn't have sharks, though. There were no sharks in Italy. I don't think they had sharks.
You can't go get sharks.
Well, and then keep them where until you throw them in the Coliseum?
Well, Italy is this in Italy?
Yeah, sure.
Italy's got water around it.
I know, but where are you keeping those sharks?
In the ocean. You grabbed them at the last minute.
I
though.
know, but historians
Everyone
have been
online
like,
is
there's
like,
no fucking sharks.
The sharks was stupid. Yeah.
They don't even really know if water battles happened there.
Okay, but like you said, it's fiction. This is not real.
Yeah.
This is a fantasy world, so let's live
I mean,
it.
he kills a baboon with his bare hands. I don't know that any human could do that.
First of all, are baboons that ferocious and look like dogs? I feel like there were dog baboons.
Yeah, sure. Dog
Rottweiler baboons.
Yeah.
Those are fun, though.
They were fun.
They were awesome.
Yeah. He's clearly the chosen one if he can kill a baboon.
But like, you would expect every other gladiator in that fight to be dead against the baboons.
No, a lot lived.
A lot lived.
That was surprising.
How did they kill the baboons?
I don't know.
Like, oh, you're still fighting with your baboon. That's cute. We all killed ours.
Right, when he killed that one baboon, I was like, well, get up. There's 10 more.
Yeah.
And then that one baboon was just like, all right, you win this round. And he left.
Well, because he pulled his tooth out. Like, and he growled at him.
Yeah.
And you growl at a baboon. That's what you got to do.
Right.
Takes off.
So, find anything else interesting? I don't know if I have that much to say. I mean, the action was good.
I liked some of the flashback scenes that, first, like they show. How does that work when you show Russell Crowe in a new film, but it's old archival footage? You have to pay him for that?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, like, I guess fractional then, obviously, because they don't have to show up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's
Anytime you
dead.
use old footage, though, I'm sure that's in the whole,
They should have brought him
Screen
back
Actors
and, like,
Guild shit.
de-aged him and, like, showed us making Lucius.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That actress was 59 years old. The redhead, whatever,
Yeah.
I can't believe her name. But
Well, it's interesting. I didn't know that they had plastic surgery back then. I didn't know that it was that old that they had that.
Right, exactly.
That was impressive.
no, but I was gonna say, like, when they shot the new footage from when they were lifting him away, like, I thought that was
Right.
kind of cool. They kind of changed the kid's face though, obviously, because
Yeah.
can't have the same kid. But
Right, because those were new scenes.
yeah,
And then at the very end of the film, when he sees, the heaven or whatever with the wheat and everything, it's like that was odd because if Russell Crowe died in Gladiator, do you age in this heaven? Because it showed it was like, all right, we need to make it look like it's Russell Crowe, so let's have his old fat man sausage fingers in that one scene. It was the fucking hand,
I
just
don't know.
huge giant sausage fingers.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
yeah. Did you catch the the scene where, like, he's first a gladiator and they make him fight another gladiator at that party?
Uh-huh.
Denzel, like, they were like, oh shit, he's gonna lose, and then obviously he beats him.
Yeah.
Do you see the angle slam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. I was like, angle slam. That's an angle.
Everyone in the theater
Sorry,
kind of
sorry.
chuckled. Like
Yeah.
they were like, what?
Like literally an angle slam. Like the exact move.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised. I'm surprised they did that. It's like a very specific wrestling move.
Yeah.
So, what else about it? Like, I guess they won the battle. You know, early in the movie, you know what I mean? Like they were killing everybody. Like who gets chosen to die and not die in that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the
But it's the same thing. Like it's the same exact movie. Oh, I'm captured at the end. Oh, help me out. You know, it's like they just do the same thing.
did the mom have to die? I thought that was a little like he's trying to save her. He's there, and then she dies.
I think it's just
like I would have liked to see her live there.
I think it just had to make him even want to kill Denzel even more. You know?
That's
Because
the only reason, yeah.
Denzel didn't kill his wife, right? He wanted to kill Pedro Pascal until he realized, oh, he's not actually such a bad guy.
Right.
He wants to dethrone the emperors. That was another we forgot. We didn't even talk about Pedro Pascal.
No. And when he's first in, I'm like, he can't be the main bad guy
Right.
because he's not.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like he had a little face turn, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we find out he was never really that bad. He
was
always
doing what
hated
he
the
was told.
emperors,
Yeah.
and he's just
I
doing
wanted to
his
see
job.
him and the kid back to back fight. Like
That's
a
what I
whole
thought was
round.
going to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's just like Godzilla and King Kong. They're going to fight each other, and then they're going to turn and then just fight, the emperor's army and shit.
Right.
No, it didn't happen. Instead, just 30 arrows to his.
Yeah, and I'm like, like I thought we had a couple of just missed opportunities where it could have been kind of cool for a minute.
Yeah.
The film's already long. You can cut out some other stuff and let these two fight. The one thing this Gladiator didn't have, Maximus whooped everyone's fucking ass.
Yeah.
There was some scenes in Gladiator where he walks out with 6 other gladiators,
Right.
and he kills everyone.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained? Like the whole point, like I'm murdering everyone. Send me a fucking challenge.
Yeah.
I thought this guy could have been. Like every fight he had, the other guy was in it.
Yeah.
Like even like the guy who kind of was over the gladiators, you know what I mean? Like they were in a fight. Even when he fought Denzel's a 60-year-old man.
Oh, no,
who
he's
was
not.
a gladiator. I'm just saying. Like,
Oh, he's so much older.
is he really? How old is Denzel?
He's like almost 80, I think.
Denzel Washington.
He's old.
So like,
Let me see.
They're fighting and like he's kind of holding his own.
Oh, he's 69. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he's holding his own with
Yeah,
the
a little bit.
gladiator
A little bit.
of all gladiators. That part I was like, I felt like it should have been a little bit more of a battle.
Well, when he cut off Denzel's arm, that was really cool.
Yeah.
But, then cut his head off next. Or can you not because it's Denzel?
What do you mean? He kind of swiped at him. He got his
But
stomach.
usually for like a final death kill,
Especially in those movies.
he just cuts off his arm and then Denzel's in the water and he's like, well, I don't want to live without an arm. I'll just, and he just goes down.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of Batman villains, Barry Keoghan, am I saying it right? Keoghan?
Yeah, something like that.
He was originally cast as Emperor Geta, the taller one. So they would have had 2 short twins, I guess, which would have made a little bit more sense.
Right,
he's
because
not
that's
as
the thing.
big.
Were they actually twins or were they just saying that?
In history, they're 11 months apart or 10 months
Yeah.
apart, something ridiculous.
Okay.
But they said twins. They never really told us. Not that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
cared.
right.
But he would have been interesting in that role. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, Miles Teller, Austin Butler
Ugh, thank God it was not Timothy Chalamet.
met or auditioned for director Ridley Scott. But obviously did not, get cast.
Yeah, I mean, the main star, like, I don't know what I've seen him in. I don't know if it's much, right? He's not, like, really that big.
No,
I mean, Russell Crowe wasn't huge until after Gladiator, right? I mean, Gladiator made Russell Crowe huge.
Paul Mescal was in All of Us Strangers, After Sun, and Foe. So yeah, I don't know any of those movies. Why did they have to do the whole Top Gun 2 thing like at the beginning? Like, hey, thanks for seeing this movie in a theater where you should see it. Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah.
being here because you're here.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoy the film. Like they had to do that whole thing. Like,
Yep.
this is huge. This is an epic moment for
Yep.
you. Top Gun 2 was.
I was just like, yeah, you're right.
I
Like
don't know
Tom
about-
Cruise,
Yeah.
he was like, you're welcome.
I waited until you were allowed to go back to the movies.
You're welcome for me.
Yeah. Right. You're welcome for paying me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he did that with the last Mission Impossible movie. Maybe he knew. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going to bomb. Fuck.
And the kid who played the other one, he hasn't been anything either. Like nothing. Nothing that I recognize. The other brother,
Oh, yeah.
The shorter brother. But yeah,
Yeah,
super
no, I
creepy.
didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
So, but overall, good action. It was a little long. Like, it was as long as the original. It's 2.5 hours. Whereas, like, the first Gladiator, you know, it's a great movie. It doesn't feel slow.
Yeah.
This, when like there was an hour left, I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the final scene.
Come on.
Let's get there, you know, because he's not Russell Crowe. The character is not as interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's worth seeing if you were the
Oh my God.
fan of the first
we
one.
saw we went to the 2:30 showing. Okay.
Yeah.
We get to the theater at 2:25. Now I know.
Yeah,
there's
you're
some
early.
trailers. You literally don't have to get to the theater and even get to the theater until at least 20, 25 minutes after the showtime.
Yeah.
The show started 33 minutes after the showtime, the actual movie.
Yeah.
That's getting ridiculous.
Me and the wife high five because we walked in right as the last trailer was ending.
Did you
We were
really?
like, fucking nailed it.
So it's been 30 minutes in if you went right here. It's just like, dude, and I'm sorry, but like the Coke, hey, we're here for Coke and we made a movie for you. Enjoy. They go, enjoy the movie. I'm like, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But you keep playing this stupid shit. And it's about a deaf girl and she's like, I can't hear anything. And they're like, here's a Coke. And she's like,
Wow.
thank you. You know, and it's like, then it's like now the movie is good and like, it's like they're just stupid.
Yeah.
Do you like, if Coke and Cinemark came to you and said, hey, you're going to get 30 seconds before Gladiator, like, do something cool, do something fun. You know what I mean? Like, you're in a rated R movie. You might as well do something a little edgy too.
So Cinemark brought Coke back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, because we had Regal, which went Pepsi. And I was like, well, at least you have Pepsi Zero, which is just as good as Coke Zero now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went back to Coke.
Did you see it in did you see it in like the XD screen? Like Cinemark calls it XD.
Is it the
used
first
to be
theater to the right?
RPX? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bigger theater.
Yeah.
With a bigger screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not IMAX. So IMAX is
It's
on the
not
left.
IMAX. Yeah,
It
no.
seemed huge. I'm like, how
But
much
it
bigger
is-
is IMAX?
Right. Yeah, I think it's just I think it's IMAX has to do with the sound as well. It is bigger too, but IMAX is more expensive, and then XD is less expensive
It was
than a
twice the
standard
cost. It was twice the cost. It was like 18 versus like 8.
Oh, you mean IMAX?
IMAX.
Yeah.
I was like, how much bigger do I need in a screen?
Right. Yeah, I think it's also a sound thing as well, but I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because I was
But I've
almost
noticed,
like, I'm getting older, but it's like, it's a little loud in here.
I've noticed there that if you see a movie in a standard theater, there's less trailers. But if you see it in
Really?
XD, it's more trailers.
Is that right?
Yeah, like 20 minutes versus 30.
Huh.
Yeah.
We almost did the smaller theater because it has those little lounge chairs.
Yeah.
You can like literally like have
So
your
if you
own
do
private area.
if you do a standard theater,
Yeah.
like in the future, just know you don't have that much time, like as much.
Interesting.
You know?
Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right.
All right, then one more thing. When he bit the monkey and
Yeah.
then he got with the other gladiators, like this isn't the internet. How did it get back to them so fast?
Talk.
He bit a monkey. Like
People talk.
He's trying to save his own life.
There
And-
was gossip.
yeah,
People, you know,
yeah, that's true.
the word always spread.
Yeah.
So what do you want to give as far as a rating? I couldn't really decide between like a 6 or a 7, so I went 6.5. That's just me.
Oh.
It's good, but if I was ever gonna watch Gladiator, like I would just watch the first one. You know what I mean?
Of course, I would never watch this again, which lowers it a little bit. Yeah, God, 6.5 is probably right there. I'll lean 7. I'll call it a 7.
All right.
Still a good movie.
7 it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some fan questions. Let's see what they've got to say.
What do they have to say, Andrew?
Bobby the Mark Soydam, a movie I'm boycotting, but I of course will listen. So when are we getting a Red One review? This might be where I have to draw the line. I don't see why we would review that.
I thought we would review it because of how bad it looks.
No one went to see it. You know what I mean?
But like, don't we review bad movies on this podcast? How many people saw Mortal Kombat 2? We reviewed
I think
it.
more people than Red One.
Yeah. How
I'm
much did it make
sure.
again?
Like 30 the opening week.
How many this weekend? Probably nothing.
Oh yeah,
Probably
no.
5.
$5. Yeah,
$5.
And that was just The Rock. I don't know. Maybe in December when it'll be out on streaming by then because it's a fucking bomb. Pop Culture Junkie. Hey, guys. First of all, can I get a shout out? My birthday, which is on the 24th as we're recording this. Happy birthday. I love the original Gladiator and saw it many times in theaters when I was 20 years old. Can't believe I just turned 45 and there's a sequel. If you guys were forced to fight in the Coliseum, what would your strategy be to survive?
Stay together. Swords out.
Yeah.
You got to form a unit. When you separate, you're dead.
I would just like kill everyone. You know? Yeah. It's not bad.
Not bad.
Kick everyone in the balls.
Yeah, they're wearing tins, though. You might hurt your foot.
Eventually, yeah, but then the tin's going to hit their balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
That's true.
Bill Capri, fuck the Emperors. Creed Brothers level bad.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, they were entertaining. They were never supposed to be meant for, to be like taken seriously. You idiot. Yeah.
That's what they sounded like. Mm-hmm. But like in the last match, they when Joe Quinn was still alive, I forget which one it is. Like his eyes were so red and like they were so pale. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I guess that was makeup, but it almost made him to look like sick. It was weird.
Right. Yeah. Well, the whole movie, you're like, something's clearly wrong with him, and then the older brother's like, he's sick, and you're like, oh, of course, that makes sense.
Right.
Little Donnie's Choo Choo Train. We want red one. No.
No.
If it's out on streaming next month, maybe.
Boss says no.
Bringing back a Hollywood Hogwash classic segment, top 5 Thanksgiving foods: apple pie, candied yams, stuffing or dressing, green bean casserole, 2 titty fucks with gravy. Wow. Well, Josh isn't here, so I don't even know what that is. I'm not even a fan of any of these things, to be fair. Like stuffing's fine.
Green bean casserole could be good if there's a lot of shit in it.
Yeah. It's more about like the corn casserole, corn
Sweet
souffle.
potato pie. My dad makes it. Yum.
Yeah, I've never liked sweet potato.
That's crazy. You ever like their pie with the marshmallow?
No. I can only stand sweet potato fries just because the fried part of it just, it doesn't.
You can fry rubber bands and we'll power through it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I like mashed potatoes. Really like mashed potatoes, ham. If they make ham, I don't think we're having ham this year, but
no, mac and cheese.
Yeah, the
popular.
corn souffle. Oh yeah, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Joey Cage. Damn, I'm at the Texans-Titans game and was planning to watch this movie on Tuesday for $5. My bad, guys. Wait, so there's a $5 theater where you could watch new movies in Houston?
No way.
If there is, Joey, let us know. Because he said he's at the Texans-Titans game. The Texans game was here. $5 on a Tuesday? I don't know.
We'll see.
And then, Josh isn't here, but who's Moida wanted Josh to spell Moida. Like the penguin.
Like the penguin says it?
Yeah. That's going to be difficult. He could probably spell that better than murder.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all for fan questions. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod. And become a supporter of the show at patreon.com/Hollywood Hogwash. And again, speaking of Penguin, we're reviewing that currently on Patreon. So we'll see you over there. Jesus.